Well, hello. A very good evening. This time from Belgium Zolder circuit. Sean, good evening.
Good evening, J.Hub.
How are we doing today? I see rain.
I see a lot of rain, and I'm really happy to see it because it will hopefully give us a really interesting race.
Yeah, it's free practice though, so fingers crossed for quali, I would say.
Yeah, we only have 2 minutes 10 seconds left for quali, so let's see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, because due to the time frame, just a real quick look for this track where we actually at the moment. So we are in Belgium, the northern part of Belgium. So Zolder is the place to be today. Sean, you've been here?
I have been to Belgium, but not to where the circuit is.
Yeah, it's actually quite close to the Dutch border, and we see, if you go in even closer, that we are actually just to the east side of Antwerp and on the south side of Eindhoven and on the west side of Maastricht. So actually we're just in the middle of all different regions here.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close. Oh
yeah,
wow.
It is, right? You did no problem.
Oh, I've been to Leopoldsburg and Antwerp and stuff like that. So, it's super close to Hasselt. I've been there so many times.
Yeah, it's actually in the region of Hasselt. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you're probably driving there a lot and didn't see the circuit yet.
Probably, yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Nice
I didn't know.
Nice to see. Nice to touch you something, to teach you something about the circuit.
Nice.
Right. So just have a look at the circuit itself. Could you take us through, Sean? What kind of corners do we have here?
I will try to do my best. So this is called the Zolder circuit, of course. We start at start-finish, and then we head into turn 1, which is called Eerste, I guess, but it's spelled in a really different way. It's not like the Dutch way. And then heading on then in a straight, we go into turn 2. It's called the Sterrenwachtbocht, I think the Star Watch turn, if you would roughly translate it. And then turn 3 is Kanaalbocht, well, channel turn. Then going up to Lucien Bianchi turn. I think that could maybe be the Formula 1 driver?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I know that Bianchi was unfortunately a driver that had a crash and passed away years ago. He was a really good friend of, almost like a brother to Charles Leclerc. Then we have the Kleine chicane in turn 5, which is the small chicane. And then we go into turn 6, but turn 7, Ter Lamebocht. And then we get into, it looks like a hairpin, Bolderberg Haarspeldbocht. That's a mouthful. And then we go into Jochem Rindbocht, turn 9, onto a straight again. And then we get to the Jackie X-bocht, which is a former race car driver, I know. And then we head on to another straight to start-finish.
Yeah, actually, it's quite a short circuit, the track itself. Sean, how long is it?
It is in kilometers. It's kilometers, equals around 2.49 miles. Fastest lap ever here is a 1 minute 12, done in 2007 by Sébastien Bourdais, and the circuit itself was built in 1963.
Oh, so actually quite an old circuit as well.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, we did quite a few Formula 1 races here as well, back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen some times on Formula 1 cars here through this track, so I don't know if it were official races or test races, but I think it were official races, yeah.
From what I could find online is that it was quite some races, but also that a famous driver, I don't know if it's true, but a famous driver unfortunately died at this track, was called Gilles Villeneuve, I think the father of Jacques Villeneuve.
Jacques, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so unfortunate there, but yeah.
Okay, so we are officially into quali now. So it's a 20-minute qualification, as this is a short race that we have. So not an endurance like last time. It's a 45-minute race. So actually, this quali you can make your start position really useful or not. I see that we got a couple of comments coming in. Some Sam Stevens, are you streaming on Twitch though? No, we are not, Sam. We are actually only on YouTube at the moment, so we are thinking about moving also to Twitch. But for the time being, we're only here at YouTube.
Oh, I see that Foxworth is helping us in the chat. He says that Jackie X and Jochem Rindt are both drivers from the 60s and 70s in Formula 1 and many other series. Jochem Rindt is the only posthumous F1 world champion. He won in 1970s after dying at Monza. Wow. And Gilles Villeneuve died in quali in 1982. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're right. So on that part, so Gilles Villeneuve died here, unfortunately, on this track.
Thanks to Foxworth for helping us out, of course.
Thanks a lot on that. So just into quali, everybody is in the warm-up lap, so the out lap, slow out lap, trying to get some heat into those tires and brakes. Let's see who will be first in line at the moment. My camera will help me out here. Chris Downing back on track, good to see him back.
Is he gonna bring home the money for you today, or?
Let's hope that he owes me after the last race. Yeah. Legato, Race TV, and still in pits. Jordi Sanders, one to watch for today as well. In the Nissan, Team Nissan.
Yeah, they're actually doing really well in the. Do you call it the just the standings, or is it like the constructor and the drivers championship, like in Formula 1, or?
I don't know if you want to call it the constructor standing, but the team standing. Let's put it that way. Yeah, they are quite high up. Yeah. So they are actually at the moment team number 1. So Lastrowracing team representing in this league. Martijn Breuker and Jordi Sanders for the Nissan GTR and Nismo GT3 car that they're driving into this year. So let's see what they can do. And they're actually being followed only with a small margin of points by Foxworth Autosport. So it's quite an interesting race, even though the points are not that high as last race that we had. Maybe they can make a difference, and as a team-based result they're going to set here. So
do we have any extra points in quali or in the race? If you have the best quali or the best lap or something?
If I am remember correctly, told is quali getting a point here in the short sprint race that we have today. So yeah.
So the best time gets extra point.
Yeah.
Nice.
But don't shoot the messenger. It could be wrong. Could be wrong information on that. I have to validate it afterwards.
I know we got corrected on the last time, so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so probably first people getting over start finish at the moment. Let's see what we can bring in. So start finish here for Kes Broskis. He's probably one of the first to set a time. Yeah, Jordi Sanders just over start finish. Let's follow Kes here. See how he's doing. See in the straight for the chicane, going in the left and the right hander. taking the curbs. So you see a lot of different drivers taking different lines over those curbs. Some people avoiding them, some people taking them full on. I think it's depending on the car and the ride height as well, if you're able to do it full on or not. Compared to the last race we had here in GT4 last week, for the Porsche cars I was driving, it definitely was not anything delivering my fast time. So let's see what guys are doing here at the GT3 cars.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see what the drivers are going to do, because there's no mandatory pit stop in this race because it's a sprint.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to like be aggressive in the beginning, or save a lot of tires till the end and then maybe make a push? Or it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
So we got first times coming up. So 129.4 for Cass. Let's see where we'll bring him in this race. So we got a 128.8 for Jordi Sanders at the moment. Oh, some people getting out of the track limits here. Probably this one will be a stop and return to pit, I would say. Yeah, looks like it. Chris Downing, number 2 at the moment, 129.07. So here we got to see at the moment the timetable. It's a 21.8 we're aiming for the number 1 spot. Sean, what was the quickest time last year that we had here?
So last year we had, let me quickly check. Jordi Sanders put a P1 in quali, and he had a 127.5, and then we had Tommy Schets on P2 with a 128.1, and Enzo Benvenuti on a 129.9. The time Sanders put in quali was the fastest of the race, so he didn't put in a better time during the race.
Okay, that's quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
So we're at the moment from that 27.5, we're actually 8 tenths off. So there still is lots of improvements possible. Yeah, of course, depending on the track. Yeah, the track conditions, of course, if they're the same, we couldn't say from last year. So
did he also drive a different car last year?
Yeah, I think so. Jordi Sanders probably last year was in the AMG, if I'm correctly.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Yeah. So Chris Downing, Martijn Breuker in third, and we got a collision here going on. I think Martijn Breukers was involved there as well. Yeah, return to pit.
Uh-oh.
Tommy Schets also in back in pit. So Emil Madsen, number 7 at the moment, went 29.6. So the top 2 till the top 9 actually is within a second from each other. So that's quite interesting to see at the moment. So Chet Harry, Delgado and Crookie at 11, 12 and 13. So they are also in the 130s at the moment. So good to know. So the numbers 10 till, I have to say correctly, 20. So 10 cars in each other are also within 1 second of each other, battling for a position on the starting grid today. So as predicted for this short race, people are really trying to get the best out of this qualifying, as it is a short race and every position counts for it. If you don't have the time and the endurance to make a strategic stop with the pit stop. So Jordi Sanders still number 1 at the moment in the standing with a, let me see, he has a 128.7. Yeah, 128.74. And so number 2, James Ansby at the moment 29.0. So there is still a small margin in between, but probably an option to get even there. So we still got 11 minutes to go. Let's move real quick to the timetable at the moment. So the 28.7 for Jordi Sanders at the moment, number 1 position. 29.05 for James Ansby and Chris Downing 29.07. So as you can see, it's only 3 tenths between the number 1 and 2 at the moment, and we are really close all the way down until position number 20. Actually, it is until position number 22 at the moment, so race F1 to be closing the line 130s. Sean, let me know if there's somebody asking something in the chat, if you can keep an eye on that.
I will.
So let's follow this lap with Emil Madsen. Can he improve? Doesn't look like it in the delta times. No, unfortunately not. So we got a Tommy Schetz just improved a little bit. So he's only place 9 for his being. That's quite down the road, I would say, compared to last race.
Chris
Downing. Yeah, 2/10 in, up in speed, so he can probably improve here a little. Sorry, you were saying, Sean?
Oh, no, never mind.
Okay. So Chris Downing still 1/10 delta plus. So he is just up or below his quickest time at the moment. Jordi Sanders also increasing, just starting his lap. So Chris Downing, let's see what he can do. Last corner, chicane here before start finish. Crossing the line with 1/10 to spare, and does he move up? Yes, he does, into second place, 128.8. So that's only 2/10 below Jordi Sanders, but he also just improved to a 28.3. So he increased the gap there. Jamie Ellis still number 3 at the moment, went 29.0, so only 2/10 below Chris Downing. Can he improve? Just under 9 minutes to go for this quali. See, let's go below the line there. Ilko number 21 at the moment, 7/10 and improving. What can he do to pick up a spot here up the road? Probably looks like it's going to be roughly around place 17 or 18 if he can hold this. So just entering into the braking area for the last corners. In his Ferrari. Last corner here, just taking the inside of the curb, accelerating out into start finish. Has lost a lot in the last sector and can only improve by 1 place with 1/10 quicker lap times. Quicker lap time than the previous lap. Tommy Schetz place 9 at the moment, is also increasing 4/10 quicker delta. Just getting here into the last corners as well before start finish. Is 4/10 quicker at the moment. Let's see what he can do. Place 9, where will he end up with his lap? And he moves place 6 in his Honda. Nice done, nicely done. Ace van der Velde as well, 3/10 quicker at the moment, just starting his lap. Corner number 4, I think it is. 2/10 already dropping a little down on his pace here. So probably his exit wasn't what he wanted to be. Taking the curb full on. Chris Downing behind, breaking off his lap. And Azor unfortunately is just on the same delta as his quickest lap at the moment, so he will not make it if he cannot improve in this last sector.
The gap between Jordi Sanders and Downing is pretty small.
Yeah,
it's
Chris,
almost a half second.
Yeah, Chris came quite back, quite good actually here.
Yeah, and if we look at Tommy Schetz, who's generally like in that P1, P2 position, he's on P6 now.
Yep.
That's a surprising move.
It is. Chris Downing 128.8 compared to the 28.3 from Jordi Sanders at the moment.
Wow.
He is making money, if I would bet. Okay, Martijn Breuken 8, Dembroskis 7, Tommy Schetz 6, and James Ansby 5 at the moment. Still not improving at the moment in delta times, so all out laps or pit times. Ace van der Velde 12 with the first one to increase on the delta in this sector. Can he do anything in place 13? He's dropping down with his exit here. Jeroen Weideman, let's switch over. He has a 5/6 tenths now, plus in the delta. So let's see what he can do in this lap. If he can get rid of that 19th spot. So Sean, now a couple of races into this competition, to this league. Is it a little more understanding for you to see GT3 in a different daylight than Formula 1?
Let me put it this way. Formula 1 will always have be my top spot because one, I just love the sheer amount of speed that the cars have, and also the amount of I wouldn't say drama, but spectacle maybe that's been happening this season for the last few races with red flags and safety cars in first laps. I haven't watched any GT3 race, but I must say that it's starting to grow on me, especially to see that how engaged this community is. I've seen a lot of messages going back and forth in Discord, people being really sportsman to each other. Something happens, they're like really apologizing for saying, hey, I'm sorry I did that, hey. If positions get taken over whereas they shouldn't, they just give it back. So it's really nice to see, and who knows, maybe one day I'll like this more than Formula 1.
Yeah, let's hope it. And just to say, we can always watch this race with public.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't have Corona rules on the internet. So Jordi Sanders at the moment still quickest on this quali with only less than 4 minutes to go. 1:28.3 as the quickest lap. Chris just behind 28.8, and Jamie Ellis in number 3 with the 29.0. Just followed very closely with Robert Constantin at 29.05 compared to the 29.04 from Jamie. James Ansby as well with a 29.05.5, so that's also really close. And Tommy Schets in 6th position with the 29.07. So top 6 at the moment. Everything still can happen if they have like that magical lap coming in now.
That would be nice.
Yep, absolutely. This is a bummer of a race, I would say, if it's so close.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the rains have stopped now, whereas in free practice there was rain. Yep. So I kind of do hope that rain will come back into play because, it just mixes up the race itself a bit.
Yeah, right. It would be nice to see some rain coming in.
Yeah.
So Chris Downing driving through this track on his Bentley colored in the British flag. I don't know, was he driving for Team Brexit or something, if I'm not mistaken? Something like that, right?
We can have a quick look.
The team names.
I love the Scuderia Pepperoni team. It's a really nice name.
It's still in place, right?
Yeah, I looked up what Scuderia means. Scuderia means the stable of, like
in the horse in the horse phrase, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was the Stena Line Racing Bentley team. That was the name. That was not the Brexit team. The Stena Line. Yeah.
Is there actually a Brexit team?
No, I thought it was, but I was probably mistaken, or somebody was talking about it. But I wouldn't look strange or look different if it was there. So Chris Downing still in 2nd position. Can he improve? He is 2/10 increasing on his time at the moment.
I see in the chat that Admiral Bushido says Downing has been pushing hard in the last few races. Will he pull a surprise on Zolder?
Ooh,
I think it'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, kind of like in Formula 1 where Lewis Hamilton is currently leading the championship and he's basically almost winning all the races. Eventually it just gets boring to watch that and you want something to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love Jordi Sanders driving, but I mean, I would like it if something happened and the race would be mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I can give you a very nice fact about Jordi Sanders if you're talking about him.
Yeah.
He is actually, at the moment, on the same amount of points as Tommy Schets. So 166.
Really?
Number 1 and 2 at the moment.
Oh wow!
So there you have it. It's definitely not a Lewis Hamilton year. So Eddie Oosterbrugge 101 at the moment in position number 3, and Martijn Breuker number 4 with 97 points. And Trin Barrel J 93 points, and Kerstin Braskis 88 in number 6, and Chris Downing 785. Enzo Benvenuti, who unfortunately has his last race tonight with us, 82.
Oh no!
Is he already actually here today, or was it already his last race last week? I don't know.
I don't see him in the list.
Yeah, probably was last week already. So he's leaving us due to work circumstances. He has to travel Europe for his work, and he's not longer in this competition, unfortunately. Even though he was number 7 on the list at the moment.
Maybe he can join again next season.
Yeah, let's hope so. Gagan Sulemanglu at 9 with 82 points, and Azo van der Velde 76, closing the gap in the top 10 with 76 points.
Nice.
So we're actually quite close, and there was it almost for quali, I would say. So is there somebody on track who's improving? Azo van der Velde is improving in this lap. Let's see what he can do. Spot 11 at the moment. So 4/10 quicker at the moment on his delta.
We are getting at the end of quali, so
yeah. So he will probably end up this lap, nicely giving away there. The outlap cars. So it's still 2/10 quicker at the moment. Getting to the last corner combination here before start finish. 3/10 in, quicker at the moment, so probably 4/10 increasing. It's quite a good sector he's having. 3/10 falling back a little, 2/10, 1/10, and the same pace at the moment. So unfortunately on the last corner he lost out there. That's a shame, that's a shame.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so we got number 1, Jordi Sanders, Chris Downing, number 2. Emil Madsen, number 3, Jamie Ellis, number 4, Robert Constantin, 5, Jamie Ensby, 6, Tommy Schets, I have to say surprise, number 7, Kerstin Broskis, 8, Martijn Breuker, 9th, and closing up number 10, Chris Delgado.
I see Chris Downing saying in-game chat.
Bringing my Jordi bet too, yeah. Well, Chris, you can make it up in the race. Number 1, I would like to see that one. Okay, here we go. We got a very nice. It's quite a lot of noise. I'm just turning down the volume a little. So this is not the quickest lap at the moment on Zolder, but just give you an idea in the GT3 how this would look like. So just passing the first corners off the start finish. Just braking into the chicane, taking the apex on the insides. Speeding up over the hilltop here into a left-hander before entering the brakes fully again. Into this chicane, a right lefter, taking the inside apex. In real life you saw he had some markers there. In the sim they don't have it in the game, so I would say that would be a benefit. Full down the lane, taking the right braking spot here for 180 degrees right-hander. No, that's not actually in the 180, it's a quite sharp turn. Small left rider, full throttle down the road, braking on time, have some traffic here on this practice day. Full throttling up, overtake and back into start finish. And there you have it, a full lap, 4 kilometers around Zolder. So 2 minutes 40 seconds before this race, this short race of 45 minutes will start. Sean, predictions?
I think it's going to be a battle between Jordi Sanders and Downing, and I think Downing is gonna push real hard. I don't know if he's gonna get close, but I think he's gonna get pushed real hard. So I think it's gonna be like a 1-2 for the P1 and a P2 for Sanders, and then for Downing. I don't know about P3. P3 could be up for anybody. I'm just surprised that Tommy Schets is in P7.
Yeah.
Because in the last few races he's been doing well. I don't know if it has to do with that this is maybe a fast track and his car doesn't have the speed. Because I know you guys been talking about that his Honda hasn't been the most popular car to pick, and that he has put in some impressive results in that car. So maybe because this is a fast track, I don't know if his car can match the speed, and that's maybe the reason why he's down on 7.
Yeah, could be. Let's see if this track is definitely based on the speed or not. I would say it's a combination, as it has quite a lot of turns as well, but also quite a lot of slow speed turns, the chicanes that they have on this track. Yeah, let's see what it brings this circuit and this race. I would say Jordi Sanders for me still one of the top contenders. Chris, I really hope for him that he can bring up the game tonight and will end up in top 3. And I've got some good hopes for Jamie Ellis. I know they are racing as a team with it, with a support from the outside line. I don't know if it can bring enough to get into the top 3 as well. So I'm quite curious to see. So 50 seconds in for the warm-up lap.
I think we have a Chris Downing fan in chat, because Admiral Bushido says, Schets with a paper car, Sanders with a Lego car, let's go Downing.
Oh, well, yeah, that's one way to cheer him up.
Yeah, so I think we have a Downing fan in there.
Yep. Yeah, so 24 seconds before a out lap here in Zolder. What's the weather look like? Well, we got a 26-degree track, and we got clouded weather for the probably next 30 minutes. So doesn't look like rain is coming in as a deal breaker here, but don't say never, as it was predicted, if I'm right, 10% rain.
I think so. Yeah. If, for example, the game would be, if for example rain would appear, would they have to go in and to get different tires, or does the game not account for that?
Yeah, so the game will give you like a optimum tire set you want to use. So
okay.
It will say a slick tire or a wet tire. So, but that's probably like a couple of X amount of minutes into a race with rain there.
Okay.
So yeah, doesn't look like it at the moment.
Okay. In chat, I see Johan saying Downing and Madsen was 0.003 seconds apart, which is like really close.
It was really close, yeah. So like we're saying, like top 10 until 22nd, if I'm not wrong, like was within 1 second, and the top 1 or the top 2 until the top 10 was also within 1 second. So that gives you an answer on how close this race is compared to the quali times that we have seen.
Nice.
Yeah, so warming up lap here. Following meteen Breuker in his Nissan 9 stack. Can he do today? Can he increase so we get his team Nissan his points that they need to stay on top? Well, actually, it's based on Breuker and Jordi Sanders combined, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Warming up lap everybody, out lap everybody, trying to get some heat into those tires and the brakes.
Johan in chat says some good drivers and close times. Well, I think it's really close times to put it lightly.
We have never seen it this season that it was so close.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's hope that is a good outcome for the race itself. Okay, let's see. James Hunsby, number 6 at the moment. Let's see what they can do. Getting there almost. Last corner sets before start finish. Everybody backing up, trying to get their lines. Yeah, somebody breaking out into the grass.
This reminds me of the Formula 1 race in Mugello.
Yeah, or the last one in Sochi when they had to
Oh
add
man.
the re-entry to the track.
Yeah, the smooth
Carlos
operator Carlos
Sainz.
Sainz didn't.
Yes, he did it again. Smooth
Oh.
operator. All right, here we go. Start finish, green light, and away we are. Jordi Sanders there, Chris Downing battling for first and second into the first corner inside for Jordi Sanders. Chris on the outside. Looks clear, looks clear. Delgado staying back a little there, it looks like. Everybody's coming through clear. Let's follow a little back.
Admiral Bushido in chat says, hopefully a quiet one for race control.
Yeah, so somebody already took out the board here on Pirelli. It's Rafastar in 17th position. Little shortcut there on the inside. But he saw still number one at the moment. Chris Downing, ooh, a little hit there. Following back, battling for first. Uphill into the braking area. Right-hander, left-hander. Close over those bumps. See, everybody can keep their pace. Peter does 21st at the moment. But Harry fold back to 17th.
I'm just really surprised how close they are. I mean, like if you look at the first four cars, they're like really close.
Yep, they are. Emil Madsen here in 5th. Mr. Brooks is followed by Tommy Schetz. Can he do something here? No, unfortunately not close enough for his braking area. Still in almost the same condition. Jamie Ellis moved up in one spot into third. Chris Downing still second. After Jordi Sanders quite close as well. Martijn Breuker here following Robert Constantin, followed by Delgado, who's turning a little wide, so he will be overtaken by Ace van der Velde on the outside. Can he keep position? Yes, looks like it. Acceleration out of this corner, and taking in account, of course, Chris Delgado here on the inside.
Sam Stevens in chat says, I like cars. I think he said that the last stream as well.
I think that the stream before as well. So,
we
Sam,
like cars too.
Welcome to the stream again, Sam. Peter Das also back in 20th position. So everybody is clean in the first lap. The second lap already still. Ooh, we got there. One. I saw somebody spinning off. Who was it? Who was it? Was it Morphy? No, was not Morphy. Cannot see. Who was it?
Oh, somebody's out of bounds.
Yeah, also a little hit there from probably Jeroen Weideman it was.
That's the first time I'm seeing that name. Is that a new driver?
Yeah, looks like it, right? Oh, here we got a big hit as well.
No.
It shot Harry and Jeroen Weideman, it looked like.
Ah, yeah.
On track. Peter Thomas, 16th. So we had some hits already. Ace van der Velde as well in 11. He has quite a space in France. Then for Martijn Breuker following Robert Constantin.
And he's overtaking him, right? Yeah.
Looks like it.
P9.
Yep, back in his original spot.
Admiral Bushido in chat. Hogeveen got 40 minutes to cook and deliver that pizza pepperoni. Time is ticking.
Yep, he does. 40 minutes, 41 minutes actually, yes.
Oh, I could go for a pizza pepperoni right now. Oh man.
You're battling Tommy Schetz. Ooh, just a little hit there from Cass.
Yep. Oh, another one, and
he took out, Kagan.
Oh, yep. Wow, we're getting a little clog up here, I think.
Yep, Martijn Breuker also involved, Robert Constantin a little involved there. Just falling
I wonder if that move will be considered dangerous by the steward, because I don't think he waited for all the cars to pass, he just made a spin and he wasn't planning to go back, so it could be considered dangerous driving by the steward.
Yeah, we'll see if somebody will fill in a complaint report there or a accident report.
Is it
The
so
end of the
that
race.
only the drivers have to fill in the report, or can the steward also take action based on what he sees in the race by a driver?
As far as I am understanding on the book of rules that we have here in this race, it's the driver's responsibility if he's not agreeing on the actions considering an accident that he can fill in the report, yeah.
Okay.
Not the steward himself.
Okay.
So yeah, we can see here Gargan, I think it's this name for somebody else who's driving, but he has quite a lot of damage there on the inside.
Yep, the right side of the car.
So he's been almost, Peter Thomas following his back. Okay, let's follow this battle a little closer. So Peter Thomas almost on
Oh,
the side.
something's happening there in the back.
Yep, now we got it.
Uh-oh.
I think it's, a lot of cars involved.
Oh, wow.
It's also here, yeah, coming on. Morphe, Peter Hoogeveen.
Oh, man.
Oh, damn. And it's Ace van der Velde also there, unfortunately.
That front looks completely smashed.
Yep. Here we go again.
Oh, wow.
Corner. Van Geffe. Ooh. That's something he probably did not see coming in this race. She was quite good on the way in this race as well. Ajit taking the inside line there. Blue flags coming up already. So Tommy Schets also there in that pack. Taking the inside line. Let's go to Tommy Schets real quick. Position 6 with his Honda. So just behind Jamie Ellis.
I keep thinking, why isn't he using the RS? But they don't have the RS.
We don't have it here. No. This is pure muscle speed. And some aerodynamics, of course.
Of course. Admiral Bushido in chat. The good old Zolder Punt Fest.
Yeah, it's a short circuit with a lot of braking points, so it's really up to the drivers in this race to make it clean. And as we have seen so far, it's a lot of incidents already happening here in this short race. So everybody's fighting for position, everybody trying to get in line. So Tommy Schets just really close behind Jamie Ellis.
Can you see the timing between Yuri Sanders and Chris Downing?
Yep, so they are apart 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
5 seconds, sorry, 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Oh, that's a pretty considerable
decent
gap.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And the gap between NSB and Downing?
It's a 1 second gap.
Oh, wow.
So James Ansby, he is now side by side by Chris Downing. Let's see what he can do here on the inside. Oh, we already overtook him here. So he had a quite good exit on the previous corner. So Tommy Schets as well, still within a second behind Jamie Ellis, battling for 6th and 5th position. So let's see, James Ansby is also battling with Chris Downing still for 2nd, and is catching up here on Jordi Saunders with only 7/10 of a space between, and increasing. Sorry, decreasing, of course. Chris Downing just behind there, battling for 2nd with James Ansby. Cutting straight over that inside line. Ooh, lit on the steer, taking control of the car back, losing some time there. Chris Downing inside line, tried to outbrake him, but had to take the outside line unfortunately to get there back in his race line. Let's see what we got going on. Gap Ace van der Velde also quite close here with Robert Constantin on position 8 and 9. So Isa Nokalainen also battling with Peter Thomas for position 13, side by side, inside line there for Peter Thomas. Did he take it clean? Sort of, I would say.
Oh,
and
a lot of bounce and a hit.
Yeah, losing both times there on the acceleration out of the corner. 3 wide. I think it is Peter Thomas. Yeah, it's Peter Thomas taking the more advantage line and acceleration speed are out of the start finish. Peter dies on the outside line, he has to hold back as he has the outer line here in this corner. Falling back to position 14, Peter does. So in the back it's quite some few gaps there from 1 to 20 seconds actually. And then we got here Robert Constantin battling still with Acer van der Velde for position 9. Getting overrun by Kegan Sulanangulu in position 11.
So the drivers, or at least Kegan, is still driving with damage on his car. I wonder if that's going to affect the performance of the car a lot or not.
Yeah, I think it's a decision you have to make as a driver if it's impacting your lap times.
Yeah.
Or not, if you want to take that pit stop or not. Yeah, you know that in this short race it will take a lot of opportunities away if you make that pit stop.
I see in chat that Eddie Oostenburg, I think, of Oosterbruggen, correct me if I pronounce it wrong, he says no luck with PC today. During warm-up, FFB gone, last corner PC froze. So I think that's a DNF, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Well, still, I'm glad, or he's probably glad that we have the stream then.
Yeah.
So he sees a little bit of action here. Yeah, Eddie Oostenburg definitely is not in the lineup at the moment. So
That's too bad.
That's too bad, yeah. So Joris Sanders 1.7 second gap with James Ansby and Chris Downing following up with a 1.2. Emil Madsen a 1.3 second gap behind, and then a 2.7 gap with Jamie Ellis behind. Jamie Ellis followed by Tommy Schetz in position 6 here, and Kirsten Broskis behind Tommy Schetz. The inside line all a lot.
Yes, I am is Eddie's response.
Yes, I am. Well, good here, Eddie. Sorry about that freeze, unfortunately.
Yeah,
still
that's a bummer.
hardware.
At least we're not having the crazy things that the GT4 had in Monza with the cars sliding over the track.
Yeah, I think that had to do more with the server side than the game side.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can't of course reboot the server because then the whole race is being stopped.
We only had that once last year due to a glitch. Some people dropping out. So server has been quite stable as it was online. Of course, we have seen this season already a couple of times that the server weren't available, but so far so good, I would say.
Nice.
So Jamie Ellis will close there with Tommy Schetz, only a 0.5 second gap. Can he do something here, Tommy Schetz? Just out of the third corner, taking the inside line, accelerating out, just not making that sandbox there over to the left.
I see something interesting happening.
What's going on? Tell me.
Downing has been overtaken by Ensby.
I think Ansby was already in second there.
Yeah, but like the last time we checked, the gap between Sanders and Downing was 5 seconds, and Ensby and Downing was 1 second.
You like that.
So we overtook him.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Can you see the gap between them?
Yeah, it's 2.5, 2.6 at the moment.
Okay.
Chris 1.3 with Emil Madsen at the moment in behind. So they're both fighting as well, I guess, if you can keep up with the pace here. You see Tommy Schetz also battling with Jamie Ellis there for 5th. So Tommy also moving into the top 5 in this pace. Let's see if Jamie Ellis can defend his lines here and keep that position number 5. Taking the outside line, almost neck to neck. 0.3 in between. Move back to Tommy Schetz here in battling with Jamie Ellis. Ooh, making them curves quite heavily. on board here, Tommy Schets.
Eddie in chat. Get in there, Chris. Team Bentley needs points.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Make it hard on Team Nissan. So Tommy Schets just taking his lines nice and slow. Not making any mistakes there. And waiting for the right moment there. Looks like they're quite stable at the moment for this position. Let's go further down the line. What we got Ace van der Velde also battling with Robert Constantin here for position number 10. So a 0.4 gap with Kagan in 9th. Quite some damage on the front there for Azor.
I think it's because of the crash he was in a couple of laps ago.
So probably not sufficient enough to box there for a pit stop and a repair, but good enough still with the damage to keep position 10.
Yeah.
Just been followed there by Robert Constantin in 11th, fighting within the half second. So it's all based on the braking areas and the acceleration out of that corner. Looks like stable fight, back in the line. Peter Das also battling with Peter Thomas. Really close, neck to neck. Oof.
It's nice to see that Tommy Schets has moved up to P5 from his P7 qualifying position.
Yep, he's moving up the line. So Jeroen Weideman, Peter Thomas fighting for 14th, 15th and 16th position at the moment, so as you can see. There's been overtook on the inside there from Jeroen Weideman, but couldn't keep it up with the acceleration out of the corner. Oosterbrugge back in line, position 21. Quite a big gap there, Roughstar as well with some damage, looks like it. Or he pitted already. Oh! That was quite a big hit. And
he's back in the pit.
Yep, unfortunately that's quite a lot of time you lose there. Probably seeing an incident report coming up for that incident. Well, he doesn't have to look far. We got it on camera. Ooh,
spin. And he's out of the track limit.
Yeah, losing a lot of time there. So it means that Peter Thomas and Peter Das will take advantage of that spin here. Taking the outside line, following up closely. Position 13th, 14th, 15th, we are battling for here. 26 minutes plus and counting for this race. So we got still a Jordi Sanders, James Ansby, Chris Downing 1, 2 and 3. Followed by an Emil Madsen, Tommy Schets and Jamie Ellis. Woo!
Oh, I see.
Well, gravity is taking a toll there. We got a big fight going on with Chris Downing and James Ansby here as well.
So we have Foxworth asking in the chat what the gaps are up front.
So the gaps with Jordi Sanders, James Ansby is a 2.3 second gap. James Ansby, Chris Downing a 0.8. And Chris Downing and an Emil Madsen a 2.7. So nothing has been said there.
Maybe Downing will be able to get back his P2.
Yeah, let's hope so. As this Bentley is quite stable on the circuit also, as I remember from last season. But Jamie Ellis is also 2 seconds behind Tommy Schets. 1.7. Followed by Karsten Raskes and Martijn Breuker and 8. Ace van der Velde still battling there with Robert Constantin for position 10 and 11. So in the back we got Peter Das still in that terrain with Jeroen Weideman, Peter Thomas, and I think closing up the gap with Race F1 and Delgado in 18th position. So let's go back to Tommy Schetz. Sorry, correction, Jamie Ellis in position number 6. Schetz in front of Jamie Ellis there with a 0.7 second gap. So still everything possible here for position number 5. We got a 1.3 to Chris Downing and James Ansby, so they are still quite stable on that battle. Ace van der Velde within a 0.5 second gap for Kigan Salomanglu.
Doesn't look like the damage on his car is impacting it a lot. It's not like he's dropped a lot of positions because of it.
Yeah, he does not, but it seems quite severe, the damage.
Yeah.
Especially on the backside there.
Yeah.
What's going on, what we got. So James Ansby within a second there, battling for Chris Downing for position number 2. So the rest is all quite stable within a 1 to 3 second gap, battling for position. I will give you the updates from everybody within a second. So Van Geffen is battling there with Delgado within a second, 8th, 7th. Position 19. Ooh,
another spin there.
I think it was somebody in the back. Let's see quite closely who it was. So this will be a hard race for Ajit Choudhury in last position, number 23 at the moment. So it looks like Star is in pit as well, yeah. Danny Wielaert 22nd, Eelco Hovo 21st, Eddie Oosterbrugge in front 20th, and then Justin St. Laurent, Eelco, sorry, 21st, St. Laurent 20th. And then
is Star just in pits for repairs, or is he a DNF?
I think a DNF, looks like it, yeah, is in DNF.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yep. So what we got going on, quite a good battle here with Ace van der Velde and Robert Constantin, possession number 10 and 11, within a second. I think Ace was feeling the pressure there for Robert. This Acer has that damage on his car, and he's probably feeling some acceleration problems out of the corner to do that damage. Camera comes up. Just fighting here for the acceleration and the slipstream for Robert Constantin. Good exit both there before start finish. Okay, let's move up a little. We got Martijn Breuker battling there with Keegan for position 8 and 9 within a second, only 3/10. They're quite close.
I'm checking if Rafa Star is maybe available for a quick interview in the post-race channel.
Alright, let me know. Tommy Schetz also battling here with Jamie Ellis, position number 5. A 0.8 second gap in between those guys. So in front, everything is within a 1 or a 2 second gap. So we'll let you know if something happens there. Van Geffen is battling with Peter Daas here. Correction, the Crystal yeah, Peter Daas it is. Sorry. Session 16 and 17. No, it's Delgado, of course. My bad. So with Van Geffen, he just overtook Van Geffen here on the braking area. Weideman here battling with, I think it was Race F1 TV. Yep. Ace van der Velde also 0.3 second gap here. Robert Constantin. For position number 10. Making a better line for the acceleration out of this corner into start finish. Moving up here to Isa Nuklein in position number 13. See Tommy Schetz battling here. Also with Jamie Ellis, position number 5 we are looking at. 0.7 second gap. Everybody in front still within the 2 or 3 seconds gaps at the moment, so nothing changing there. We got 20 minutes on the clock for this race. So Acer also is battling quite closely here with Robert Constantine still. See how it will turn out for this battle here.
Ravastar unfortunately said that he is going to make use of the time that he has right now and focus on other things. So unfortunately, no DNF interview with him.
Well, that's his good right, of course. But
yeah, I mean, I understand completely. Oh.
Ace of the Vel still battling here. Getting a little oversteer. Robert Constantine in the back, number 11. A 0.6 second gap for this fight. Okay, let's move over to Tommy Schetz. He has also a 0.6 with Jamie Ellis battling for position number 5 as we speak in his Honda. It's extremely colorful Honda, I would say. So those are the 2 fights we're watching at the moment. So Ace van der Velde and Tommy Schetz, as they are close to each other. Got a 0.6 second gap between those guys. Tommy Schetz, Jamie Ellis here. Let's move back to Acer, how that's turning out. Still on the racing lines here for the chicane. 0.5 second gap. Let's see how he's doing with that damage here in the braking area. Can Robert make his move somewhere? Still playing it safe. Got Tommy Schetz, number 5 at the moment, still battling. Jamie Ellis, 1.8 in between. James Ansby, 2.8 now for position 3 and 4 with Chris and Emil Madsen as well. So that's gap is quite stable. Well, Tommy, let's do this. We got 1 second.
Aren't you cheering for the wrong person? I think you should be cheering for Downing.
I'm cheering for everybody today.
Oh, that's kind, nice.
As we are a neutral party, yeah, we have to say.
I think all neutrality went out the door when you said to Chris Downing that he lost you your money.
Is it the bad thing again? I will still say it until the end of the season. Let's go, Chris, get me the money. Right,
reminds me of...
Position 13, fighting with Isa Nukleinen. Quite a lot of damage as well here for Isa Nukleinen in the front side of his car. Follow Isa here. Yeah, he has some damage there. But is that a problem for him to get some speed up there, or is it holding him back? That's the question. Following quite nicely here on the racing line on Peter Thomas, position number 13, 0.2, so really close battling here.
Is the number 22 in the pit lane?
Let me see, it's Rage F1 just returned back to pits. I don't know if it's a planned pit or probably not. Looks like damage or DNF. Okay,
and it looks like Van Geff has a drive-through?
Yeah, he just got a drive-through. Don't know what happened there, but it could be a track warning number 3. He overshot there, so there will be a drive-through afterwards. Alright, so Ace van der Velde is still battling there with Robert Constantine. We got Emil Madsen, 1.8 second gap for Tommy Schetz. James Ansby, 1.7 second with Chris Downing. Battling for third and second. So Van Geffen taking his drive-through at the moment as we speak. We will fall back quite a little. As St. Louis is coming up straight. Yeah, pit start finish here. Ten Breuker, position number 8. He has a 7-second gap behind with Kagan and a 12-second gap in the front with Carsten Braskis. So he's quite, in open air, as we would say. So Chris Downing, number 3, followed by Emil Madsen and Tommy Schets, who are battling for 5th still and 4th position. Jamie Ellison behind there, behind Tommy Schets in 6th with a 0.8 second gap at the moment. Jason real close there here to Rob Constantin, battling for 10th position. For the points, I would say, the bigger points. Still with his damage. Doesn't look like it's a factor for his performance here. As he's quite keeping the pace for this race. Quite close there, 0.2 second gap, so he's just behind his tail. Let's see if he can do something here in the braking area. No, just keeps his line, wants to keep it clean and safe. Waiting for the right moment probably. What we got on here is Anokalainen also battling as well with Chris Delgado for position number 14. Just a little wide there on the gravel for the grind. Grind, zoals in België zouden zeggen. You would say in Belgium. Grind. Into the braking area for the chicane. Just keep it clean and nice. I'm waiting for the right moment here from Chris Delgado. So everybody is quite in a fight or a clean air at the moment, so nothing very close to each other. Chris still fighting here with Emil Madsen, position number 4 and 5, 3 and 4, sorry. And behind is Tommy Schets driving up, so he is quite clear from Jamie Ellis now, as we saw him with a 1 second gap in a couple of laps ago.
I'm just checking if we might be able to get Rage, because he has a DNF.
Yeah.
We can maybe get Rage into the post-race channel.
Yeah, no, he's probably streaming as well, but let's see if he's able to.
Yeah.
Gorisana still number 1 at the moment, a 1.4 second gap to James Ansby, so that's not that big as it was normally in a race. And followed up by Chris Downing, position number 3 at the moment. With Tommy Schets battling here with Emil Madsen for position number 4. Was 0.7 second gap. Ooh, that looks like a little bit of an outline there for Emil Madsen. And can Tommy Schets make a difference on that? Inside line here. Can he hold it? Looks like it, yeah. No, he cannot, due to probably the acceleration out of the corner and holding back on his throttle there. Real close within of 0.3 second gap now on Emil Madsen, battling for 4th position. We got Keegan here also battling Azer still in position 9. We got Ethan Okalainen with Chris Delgado still battling for position number 14, so that are the closest gaps that we have, the 3 battles going on.
I think Rage will be filing a report with the steward after the race.
Alright.
Yeah.
James Ansby here, position number 2. getting a distance to Chris Downing, building a distance to Chris Downing. Quite a lot of damage as well on the front there for James Ansby. That's a 2.5 second gap he has on Chris Downing here, just turning in. And then we got Chris Downing being followed by Emil Madsen and Tommy Schetz position 4 and 5th. Tommy Schetz still quite close here to Emil Madsen.
If he keeps this up, he'll be able to overtake him.
Yeah, let's hope so. For his sake.
Is our Lewis Hamilton still driving alone at the front? Our Jordi Sanders.
Our Jordi Sanders, he is with a 5.5 second gap in between James
oh,
and
man.
position number 2. Yeah.
And the gap between Downing looks big as well.
Yeah, it isn't that big as normally, so everything can happen there. With James Ansby following up on Jordi Sanders here. Chris Downing as well, James Ansby, and the top 5 is that close actually. So Ace van der Velden, correction, it's Jamie Ellis and Kirsten Broskis in 6 and 7 following their on Tommy Schretz's position, number 5. So they're 1.5 and a 1.4 second gap in between those guys. Let's see if Tommy Schretz can do something here. Takes the line, keep it clean. So we got a Van Geffen in pit, we got Roughstar in pit, we got Rage F1 in pit. So that's quite a lot of people probably looking at a DNF. Ajit Choudhury in 23rd. He will move up a couple of paces after these DNFs, so that's quite nice to see him still driving through this pack. Or is he also? He's also out, unfortunately.
Who's out?
Ajit.
Oh.
Looks like, yeah. Or is it me? Is he still there? Doesn't look like it, no. Justin St. Laurent here in position number 17. There's an 8-second gap on Peter Thomas in position 16, so that's quite big. Ika Nukkalainen 14th, with a half a second gap there on Chris Delgado, battling for position number 14. Ace van der Velde here within that second gap on Robert, with that 1 second gap on Robert Constantine here behind him. And he's following Gugan Solomanglu in position number 9. Martijn Breuker still in clean air in both front and back here, position number 8. Jamie Ellis position 6. Battling with Gaston Broskis in 7. Within that second gap at the moment. Emil Madsen here with Tommy Schetz for position number 4.
I have Rage if you like for a quick interview we can do with him.
Alright, let's move real quick to the post-race.
Let me just tell him to jump into that channel.
Yep, we'll move there too.
Oh, wait. I think it's better to not do it.
Is it that bad? Is it that bad, I would say?
Let's keep it at maybe.
Okay, let's keep an eye on this race then. 6.5 minutes to go. So we got Emil Madsen, position number 4, battling still with Tommy Schetz, really close here within that 0.3 second gap. Followed really close afterwards with Jamie Ellis as well. So we got a little bit of a white line there for a blue flagger. So that fight is still going on there. Everything for the rest looks quite stable. St. Laurent as well, fighting with Ilko Hogeveen, correction, Peter Thomas. And Ilko Hogeveen, yeah, for position 16, 17 and 18. Within a second gap here. And Tommy Schets I saw as well, position number 5 in that line.
I see Arjit in chat saying I exited / DNF, and Admiral Bushido says busy Monday for race control.
Yeah, I think the stewards has a lot of work up his sleeve for this after this race. So
I wouldn't want to be the steward.
Yeah, quite an interesting fact or discussion actually we have recently with the founders of this league. So maybe there is a option or a thought for next season to introduce a safety car for this league. An actual person driving the safety car.
That was I heard some rumors about that. I don't know how the drivers are looking at it, but I think it would actually be. It would be nice, and I think it would add some extra. How do you say?
Dimension, probably.
Yeah.
Dimension.
Yeah, because now what we have now is that Jordi Sanders is just leading the pack, and we've seen it in multiple races that like eventually when the leader is at the front and he creates a big enough gap, basically the whole race is just him trying to focus on finishing the race and not a lot of action happening in the front.
Yep.
Whereas if we get like a safety car, that might still shake up the field a little bit because, you know, all the cars are pretty close to each other and you never know what can happen.
Exactly. Yeah, of course there has to be some really good discussion about it, or a poll that we probably will pull up, and some rules around when to use it or when not.
And how to.
It would be really interesting, I would say.
Yeah, and that, you know, that's what I meant with when at the beginning of this stream. Like, I just love how this community, this league, is like evolving and getting closer and closer to the real thing. And it's just these tiny things that just add extra depth to it all. So it's really nice that that's possible.
Yeah, we still try to improve this league every year again. If it is more drivers, if it is a rule book, if it is a safety car, yeah, we'll let the drivers decide, I would say, in the end.
Best thing to do.
Yeah. Wow, thanks, Siri. So, Emil Madsen here fighting for 4th position with Tommy Schets still. Quite close still. Tommy Schets really keeping it clean, I have to say. And he's been followed by Jamie Ellis in position number 6 within that second gap as well. So Jordi Sanders 1.2 second gap of James Ansby, so he is closing in as well. Let's see James Ansby, there we got him in position number 2. There we got Jordi Sanders coming up here in his Nissan. Ace van der Velde I see in behind, so that's probably a +1 lap. And James Ansby just in that same corner here as well, Foxworth Autosport number 2. So they're quite pleased probably with this standing. And we got a 7-second gap to Chris Downing in number 3. And a 7-second gap to Emil Madsen in 4. So those gaps are between 2 and 4 are quite big. Let's see, Emil Madsen, Tommy Schets still battling here for 4th and 5th position. So we got 2 minutes on the clock. So Tommy Schets, if he wants to make a move, would be this lap or next lap. You see, this time is running out, I would say. And he's also quite close, followed by Jamie Ellis in position number 6 within a 0.6 second gap. On this last corner. To the back marker, Morphy at the moment, 21st, his first season. Quite nice to see a lot of new drivers from different classes and different experiences driving in this league. Makes it interesting, of course.
I see Foxworth saying, very pleased with a 2, 6 and a 9 right now. Ellis might get 4th yet.
Yeah, well, I think that's the same thing to say for Tommy Schets. He can also be a 4th, of course, but...
What's the gap between Madsen and Schets?
So Madsen and Schets is 0.5 and Tommy Schets, Jamie Ellis as well. So they are almost equal every corner at the moment. So this is a really interesting fight going on.
Wasn't Downing also part of Foxworth?
I didn't think so, no.
No?
I didn't think so, but let me check real quick for you. If that's so. No, he's the Stena Line guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm confusing him with probably with Ensby.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So, 25 seconds to go on official race time. So let's see, Jordi Sanders, where is he? Can he still make a new lap valid? Yep, he will. So this will be his last lap. He's already signing us as a race winner, but he still has to do one lap. Sorry, Jordi. James Ansby 1.5 seconds behind. Sorry, 2.9 seconds behind. James Ansby here. Chris Downing in third, 1.7 behind James Ansby. Will Madsen still in the line and the fight. So this is the last lap that the guys have to increase their position on this track. Let's see how this will turn out. Ooh, Jamie is really close behind there. Is he still able to make that position into fifth? Take over from Tommy Schets. Ooh, that was almost a launch there. Oh. Jamie Ellis taking that Humpy the Bumpy a little close.
I see Foxworth saying, Ensby, Ellis and Suleiman Oglu are my drivers. Okay, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Foxworth, just correct me if I'm wrong, Kagan Suleimanglu is a different name for a different driver name for an original name. I saw something coming by in chat on
I think
stream that we had.
I think he did drive the last race as well.
Yeah. The leader has finished the race.
So Tommy Schreps, Jordi Sanders finishing the race, position number 1, James Ansby closing up second, and this number 3, 4, 5th and 6th will stay the same. Yep, it will. Chris Downing, Emil Madsen, Tommy Schets, James Ellis, Gaston Broskis until 7th. Martijn Breuker, his last corners before start finish in 8th. So he increased bit 1+1 on his quali time.
Admiral Bushido in chat. Schets managed the damage control for the championship. Good push from Downing, but not sufficient to threaten Sanders' domination. On to the next one.
Yep. That's a fair thing to say, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeroen Weideman still battling here. I think it's... Thomas. Oh, they're all back in pit already. So they all finished as well, yeah. Looks like it's...
Foxworth, first podium for the team. Great job all around. I would say congratulations, Team Foxworth. Nice race.
Yeah, with a 2:47. Sorry, 2:49. I wouldn't complain either as a team.
Yeah.
So Jordi Sanders and Martijn Breuker, so 1 and 8, still picking up the points for his team. And then we got, so second was Ansby, Suleimanglu and Twin Barrel J, so that's probably James Ansby, I would say, in second. Picking up the points as well, so that's quite interesting to see where they end up. And third was Stena Line Racing, Bentley, Chris Downing, Eddie Oosterbrugge and Van Greffen. So Chris is taking the points as well. Eddie Oosterbrugge, yeah, I wouldn't say that was a good race, unfortunately.
Admiral Bushido says, Hogeveen, pepperoni pizza is late, #refund.
Well, I would say bring in the pizza or the refund, one of both.
I think we should just grab some pizza after this stream, because I'm really feeling a pizza, man.
Pizza night it will be.
Oh.
Okay, so everybody in pit.
Alrighty.
Let us move to the post-race interview room, I would say.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got.
Oh, Chris Downing is in there already by the looks of it.
Well, Chris.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Chris. Good evening.
Hello.
So, Position number 3.
Victory number 3?
Oh no, I thought it was Chris talking. Sorry about that, Jordy.
Oh.
No, position number 1, I would say in this case.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So a clean race?
No, not well, in terms of accident, yes, but in
Yeah.
terms of mistakes, no.
Okay, so individual mistakes probably.
Yeah, stupid
Okay.
mistakes.
So how would you say the gap that you had in previous races compared to Ansby and Downing? It wasn't that big this race.
No, the gap wasn't really big, but yeah, I didn't have a lot of practice, so I was already very, very happy with the qualifying. Then I thought I would just drive away, but well, I hadn't practiced with a full loaded car, so I was really struggling, especially in the first chicane. And Chris, the first couple of laps, was a lot quicker than me there, and he was just on my tail. And after Ansby overtook Chris, I got a little bit of a gap, but Ansby kept driving a similar pace, still like halfway. Then I started being a bit faster. But yeah, the gap wasn't big indeed. It was quite small, so I had to try and keep focusing all the race until the last couple of laps. Then I had like 6 seconds, and then I was quite taking it easy.
Driving it home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sean, what did you think of Jordi's performance tonight?
I think I, at one point I called him our Lewis Hamilton because he was leading the pack, and I don't know how it is for Lewis Hamilton, but it sometimes looks boring to lead the pack. But getting this insight, it's really nice to hear that that there's still some going on. I did have a question for Jordi. Normally quali is I believe shorter than this, and now we had like a 20-minute quali, but the race itself was shorter. Did this have any impact on your strategy, and if so, how did it impact your strategy?
Well, because it's only 45 minutes, the qualifying is really important, especially on Zolder. It's hard to overtake. So I didn't have a lot of practice time, but the practice time I had, I focused only on hot lapping, just for the qualifying. So making my setup was, I only had a setup for qualifying, and yeah, I just focused fully on qualifying. So that was most important for my strategy. You know, I didn't really focus on the race pace because I thought if I would be qualifying on pole, it would be really hard here to overtake. So yeah, that kind of was my strategy.
It kind of paid off, so it was nice to see. Did you at any point during the race have a moment in which you thought like, okay, I need to maybe start out aggressively out of the gate, or maybe I need to kind of save my tires and use it more at the end? Or did you have like a consistent strategy where you constantly adjusting based on what was happening behind you?
Well, in case of tires, not really, because it's only 45 minutes. So most of the time, the tires should be fine. But in case of strategy, driving consistent, when I had like a 2 or 3 second gap, I started taking the chicanes a bit more carefully, because those can really catch you out, and the mistakes are really easy to make there. So once I had a bit of a gap, I was a bit more careful through the chicanes. So.
I think we saw a lot of stuff happening. I don't know if you'll ever watch the stream back, but you'll see a lot of spins and cars going out of bound there.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to drive those chicanes consistent for a whole race.
Yeah.
So
nice, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, quite interesting piece of information, Jordi. So your quickest lap here today in the race was a 1:28.5 compared to last year. It was a 1:28.2. So did you have any feeling that the car that you're driving this year is less quick than the car you're driving last year?
I don't know about the conditions last year, but last year I drove the Audi, and the Audi is very, very nice on Zolder. So maybe, I don't know if it's really a lot quicker, but my PB and the Audi is also a bit quicker in the.
So higher as well compared to this.
But the Nissan can be very fast. I just had a lot of struggles with the fuel in the car. So when the car got light, the tires were kind of worn out, so I couldn't go for a fast lap anymore.
Yeah, so driving more consistently and bring it home.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Ansby behind me, because he had a lot of pace, and if I made one mistake, he would overtake me. So it was just more important to drive consistent.
Yeah, can agree more. All right, thanks, Jordi.
Yeah, thank you guys as well for
Alright.
streaming.
Thanks.
No problem. Let's go to contestant number 2, James.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
So, expected?
No, I was well starting P5 or 6 or whatever. The Audi is surprisingly very quick, and I figured that out as soon as I was matching Sanders and Downing on pace, and I was like, hang on a minute, I got a chance here. That chance soon disappeared when a back marker decided to park themselves on the racing line into the braking zone of the chicane.
Yeah.
I had front aero damage, and at that point, Downing was closing in on me, and I was really worried that it was really bad. But after a couple of laps, I sort of recovered the time, and it was minimal damage, but it still, it affected me in some way. I just couldn't catch Sanders at the end.
Yeah, he was quite on his racing line and also on his pace as well. So, just out of curiosity, what was the amount of damage that you had? Because we could see it on the outside a little, but in terms of repair time, what was it that you had on the damage side?
It said it wasn't serious damage. It said light damage, but the car was unsettled by it. So when I was like racing around, I was sliding a bit out of corners all of a sudden. So it's the front left aero and the right, I think, that were. And on the straights, I lost a bit of top speed. I noticed Downing was slightly gaining. But like Downing said to me in the race channel at the end, it's that final corner where the Audi shines in second gear, just punting the throttle, nice clean exit, and down the start finish straight. He just, for whatever reason, he couldn't catch me, and he admitted that, and I think that was very true. But it was tight. It was tight. All three of us. We were on pace, so it was good.
Yeah, down the line through the race, we saw quite a lot of close battles going on there. Would you say this race is based on the braking points?
Yes, definitely. Because if I'm using a Logitech wheel, I have to guess my braking each time. I don't have it like memorized into the pedals, for example. So each time it's the chicane as well. Is where you one lap you might brake a bit later and you clip it a bit harder. You lose a couple of tenths. That makes all the difference over a couple of laps. So it's the chicanes where the braking points matter, definitely.
Yeah. Sean, surprisingly second, James?
Yeah, I mean, when the race started, it looked like it was going to be a race between Sanders and Downing, and then all of a sudden, halfway down, I see Ensby up there in P2. So I just wonder, like, what happened there that you were able to overtake? Because the gap between Downing and Sanders was pretty close in the beginning, and then suddenly you were able to just overtake him. I thought, like, okay, what happened there? It's really nice. I'm kind of bummed that I missed out the moment.
So I saw them battling, and they went over the start-finish line, and they were about 4 tenths slower than me on my last lap, and then they were fighting again for the next lap, and I was all over the back of Downing by then, and he knew that. He's like, oh shit, James is behind me, like all of a sudden. And I got an absolute stunning exit out of the last corner. I went half off the track and onto the grass, and I was shitting myself. Like I was like, I'm gonna hit the wall in a minute.
I can't imagine.
And I just slipped it down the inside of him, got the acceleration, and was gone. And the move was done then. It's just trying to keep him behind, which I managed, but there's parts where he was catching me again. So yeah, not to mention as well, I underfueled. So
Oh wow!
yeah. I had 1 litre when I crossed the line.
Wow.
I had to do a bit of saving, which I think Downing must have picked up on, because I was about 6-7 seconds at one point, and then back down to 3 seconds because I had engine mode 8 on. I was like, make it to the end. So
Yeah, I was already wondering, like, was it a safety precaution taking the chicanes or the corners really safe, or was it a fuel consumption based issue? So it was less, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's what took me out of contention of maybe even challenging for first, because I felt like some laps Sanders was quicker, but I noticed on some laps I was quicker, so it was trading between the two, and unfortunately I had that little bit of damage in the fuel, so it is what it is. But I'm happy for the podium. So
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a little bit of information for your side. Just we spoke with Jordi Sanders. He had a 1:28.5 as quickest lap, so you put in a 1:28.7. So that
yeah,
wasn't that big of a gap, unfortunately. Yeah, unluckily.
wow. I didn't. On honesty, I didn't even know it was a 1:28.7. I was just concentrating the whole time. That is the quickest time I've ever done round there. So
Yeah, well, congrats on number 2 then.
thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the
Alright,
stream.
no problem. Now, well, the man of the money. Chris Downing. Oh, no
Hey.
money in this case, again. Chris, number 3.
Yeah. Good
Is
race.
it a happy race or a sad race?
It was all right. I spent lost a lot of time battling Geordie at the start. Obviously meant James could catch me. But I just had no pace compared to them guys. That Audi down the straights is so much quicker than me. And maybe I got the setup wrong because I did put a bit more wing on for the race than I did in qualifying. Maybe that didn't help, but and his last corner must be so much better than mine because how he overtook me was just well, it's like I wasn't even there.
Just let's put it on the Audi.
Whatever.
Yeah. So another interesting question to ask you is, Tommy Schets, are you quite surprised that he was that far behind?
I don't know how good that Honda is. I mean, he's brave to take that Honda. To be fair to him, and all the DLC tracks, I'd imagine he'll be back at the front. And I don't know how quick he is going to be at all of the original tracks, which Zolder was obviously one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. He was quick in practice and when it was wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to be that far back, to be honest.
That's also something we didn't see coming, but quite interesting, of course, for the league that we have at the moment for the standing.
Yeah, did you lose your bet? Did you have him on top 3?
Again, yeah. So it was strike 3 for me, and I'm not able to place any bets anymore.
Oh yeah, I think you should stop.
Sean, what did you think of Chris's race today?
I was surprised because, as I said to Ensby just now, that like when the race started, it looked to be like this really close battle between him and Saunders, and then I thought like, okay, we're gonna see these two fighting until the end, and then he suddenly dropped, and I was like, hey, what's going on here? So I did wonder one thing, is that like, and you briefly touched on this. You said like, hey, your pace was a little bit off because in the beginning you had like a small gap. And when you eventually dropped down to P3, did you change your strategy and think like, okay, I don't have any pace, I just need to lock in this P3 and make sure that I protect this position? Or were you at the same time thinking like, okay, but if I can push the car and if I can get closer to Ensby, I still want that P2 back? How did that go?
Yeah, well, I thought at the start, fighting Geordie, I just wanted him to get on with it. I didn't even want to fight him. I wanted him just to carry on, because the problem with the 45 minutes races is that the gaps are a lot smaller. You don't have the strategy for the pit stop. So I just wanted him to fly, and I'll just keep on his coattails. I didn't want to be fighting him, and the minute we started fighting, it was just obvious we were going to lose too much time. And then Madsen, I think it's Madsen behind, he was just catching, and then I made a mistake following Geordie, and then James got behind, and then that's the rest is history. But yeah, when I was in third, I just tried keeping it clean because I saw James's off, which wasn't very good, to be honest. Unlucky. But that can happen with back markers. So I just wanted to keep it clean, so I played it safe around all of the back markers. And then with 20 minutes left to go, I think, I had 3 warnings, so one more cut of a track, I was going to get a drive-through penalty. So I had to keep it a bit safe at the end. So that's the only change I made, was just trying to keep it safe and not get the drive through, because that would have been a nightmare, to be fair.
Nice. Okay, thanks.
All right.
I was able to secure Tommy Schets for a quick interview, so
Tommy
we
Schets
might be
from
able to
Zolder.
ask him some questions as well.
Hi guys.
This will probably be some hard questions, I would say.
Okay.
So one, did you felt sorry for picking this car today?
Well, no, I knew it from the beginning when I picked it. So, but now I had some nice battles with it was P4 and P6, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were quite in a consistent line with the number 4, 5, and 6. I think I was battling on the last part of the race. Yeah.
Yeah, we were really close the whole race. Some mistakes here and there, but no, it was pretty fun.
Just have to ask, did you pick up some damage as well, or did it only look like it?
Maybe, yeah, I had a little touch in the second chicane, but there was nothing really. Didn't affect me at all.
Okay, Sean, Tommy here, just falling just a little behind on our predictions. What would you say?
I wondered because I think it started a little bit in quali, and that's why I asked him to jump in, because I was wondering that normally we've seen you qualify higher in previous races, and in this race you managed a P7. What happened there? I mean, we had some pretty big expectations, especially because I think you and Saunders were both at the same points. So we thought, like, hey, this might be an interesting race for you to kind of maybe get on top.
That's just the Honda isn't so good at like normal tracks. I was watching like George stream on his best lap, and he was like 1:28.3 on his best qualifying, and he's like a second or 2 seconds quicker than me.
Mm-hmm.
So that I didn't know what Jordy was, what his quality was, but last year it was 1:27.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I already knew that I couldn't qualify first or even second.
I think that
So
actually Jordi qualified last year at 27.5, and this year on the qualifying time that you had last year.
It was fast last year, yeah.
28.1.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. So probably track condition was also part of the of the times that we saw today.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the practice was like damp, and it was like a really good lap. So I was hoping for, please let it rain or something, or let it be damp. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So.
Do you think it was a speed thing with the car, that the car just didn't have enough speed to get you there?
Yeah, it was on every exit. Didn't matter what car was in front, or it was Lexus, Audi, or the Merc. Even if I had a better exit, the car in front just pulls away. So it just, I don't know, it just doesn't have enough power, or its restriction is too much or something.
Okay.
But they all pull away on the straight, so
yeah.
Yeah. So for next race, Tommy, we got a branch heads. Would this be more in favor of your car, you think?
I don't know. I watched YouTube on like Honda NSX, like best lap times, but nobody picks it. So I have no clue what time I should expect. So I hope it's a better track. I like it more than Zolder, so maybe a bit higher would be great. But I don't know. I hope so.
Any last question from you, Sean? So we're wrapping up for today.
No, I was kind of asked the same like you. If there's a car, if there's a track with that, which it's less focused on speed and more like in the corners, if his car would maybe perform better, but it was answered in a way. We'll just have to wait and see what the upcoming races bring. I just want to thank Tommy for jumping in and quickly answering these questions for us.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tom. All right, I think that's quite it for today.
I think so as well. It was a really interesting race.
45 minutes Zolder. We did not predict this outcome, 1, 2, and 3. So Jordi Sanders, James Ansby, and Chris Downing. Let's see in 2 weeks' time. We are at the Stena Line and Foxworth home country, UK. Yeah. So let's see what those guys can do there.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, I would say thank you for watching, and